Okay, this is Boston John. I just want to talk to you today specifically about machines manufactured and purchased through China. So I have in my shop 4 machines I use somewhat regularly, depending on how they're going. All 4 of these machines are bought through China. So what I want to do in this video is cover the pros and cons based on my experience with these machines and some others I had, and also my suggestions if you want to follow this route. And again, any feedback, any questions, any comments, just put them in, because this video goes both ways. If you can give me feedback or have an answer to some of my questions, some of my problems that I might mention in this video, go ahead, fire away, put it in there. Feel free to reach out to me through the comments or to email me directly. I welcome it. First, I want to go over some of the pros of buying a machine in China or through China. That'd be something like you might go on Alibaba, or you might go to a show and see some of these machines on display. The first thing you're gonna notice, or the first pro, probably would be pricing. If you have a machine in mind that you want, chances are you're gonna have US and European versions of that, as well as Chinese. The Chinese products are gonna have names you don't recognize, but they're gonna be a lot cheaper. And a lot of times, like this machine behind me, is a name you won't recognize. However, the print heads and a lot of the interior of the machine, the working parts, is actually made by Ricoh. What the China will do will simply take the parts of a well-known manufacturer and build their own machine around it. So a lot of times pricing will be much lower. I mentioned earlier that you don't just have to go to Alibaba, go online and look for these Chinese manufacturers specifically. This machine behind me, I bought at a show here in Las Vegas. So I went down to a print show. I saw this machine as well as a few others. I saw some of the big name machines in this marketplace, which would be Roland, Epson, Mamaki. One of the things is that machines that are on display, especially for overseas manufacturers, are available to purchase on the spot, because if they don't sell the machine, they gotta lug it all the way back to China or to the next show. They might have a few more shows left. A lot of times, these machines are for sale. I agreed to purchase this machine. I just went up to them, played around with it, took a look at it, and said, okay, are you selling it? Yeah, and made a deal with them and bought it at the end of the show. With the on-the-spot purchase, you can get a discount off the regular list price. And the other hidden benefit of that is, for me anyway, the show was here in Las Vegas. We had the machine delivered to my shop, and the technicians that were here for the show came and set the thing up for me completely. If I had bought this machine from China, they'd send it, they'd come over here, get delivered on a truck, then they drop it off, and it's in a couple of big crates, and you gotta put it together. Forget it. Another pro would be, after I bought the machine, as well as these other machines I showed you, the seller of the machine, the company, has been very attentive. Like a lot of times, let's say we might be used to it here in the US, but we buy something, after you buy it, forget it. If you didn't buy a warranty or whatever, they don't want to deal with you. They already got the money. For me, in my experience, it hasn't been like that when I bought machines from China or Chinese manufacturers. They've always been attentive, tried to be helpful, and will follow up and will help you even after the purchase. Even if you may not have a secondary purchase coming up. It's not like you're buying a subscription here and they got to keep you in the box and keep you happy. They've all been attentive and have all been helpful, which tells me that they have faith in the machines. They feel the machines can work. Here are the cons. In relation to support, despite the fact that I had the technicians come over from the Las Vegas show and set it all up, everything was perfect when they left. However, over time, when I start using the machine, regular wear and tear, you no longer have that on-site support. You'll find here, if you buy a US or European-made machine, a big name machine, a lot of times they have these independent shops here and technicians here that will come out and do work on the machine. When you buy a machine from China, it's not like that. This company here and the other machines I showed you do not have independent shops here that will do the work on their machines. So on-site support is non-existent. The support you get will come in different forms, whether it be through WeChat or WhatsApp, or them sending you videos or showing you videos on the YouTube channel, a video call. It's time consuming. Another con in that whole process can be the language barrier. Now, when you go to a show, for the most part, they're all going to speak English. Like when I bought this machine, there were 5 or 6 of them at the booth. Of course, the salespeople all speak English. They were friendly. The technician, a little bit of English, but once they get back home and you're dealing with it, you might not be dealing with the same people. there can be a language barrier. For the most part, they know they're selling their machines to people in the US and in Europe, so they do have English typically as a common language, but it can be tricky. Another thing when you're trying to get support, another con would be the time zone difference. China is like 15 hours ahead of us. That's a big one. So when I want to get support or I want to try and get some help with the machine, I'm having a problem, sometimes I have to come back to the shop at night, let's say 7 p.m., 8 p.m. at night, and then talk to them and then try and get work on the machine. That can be problematic. Another con I found, and this ties also to the language barrier, is these machines I showed you, they don't come with clear manuals, in my opinion. Now, even so, even if I buy a machine here, a lot of times, certainly in my past, I wouldn't necessarily read the manual. It's too big, it's too thick, I'll figure it out. As I've gotten older and broken many things or wasted money, manuals carry a little more importance to me now. With these machines from China, the manuals aren't always clear. The language can be a little choppy. A lot of times they're just translating right from Chinese to English, and it can be a little raw. Won't necessarily make sense. It can be tough to follow. That makes it so you rely even more on communicating with these people, which again kicks into the time zone thing, kicks into the fact that you may be relying upon YouTube videos and all the rest of it. So being technically inclined when it comes to a more complicated machine is going to be important. It's going to factor in whether or not this machine or these machines or a machine from China can be a good fit for you. Overall, I haven't been overly surprised or overly disappointed in a purchase I've made from a Chinese manufacturer. I have here suggestions of mine if you're thinking about making a purchase or deciding between a machine bought from China or from a US or European manufacturer. These are my suggestions based on my experience in doing this myself. Are you comfortable working on the machine you plan to buy? Me, I'm not. Having service people come to the shop is important to me more now than before. I thought I could wing it. This machine here needs me to open it up and replace some parts. I tried to get some local technicians I worked with before on another big name machine. They won't come out and help me. So I'm on my own. It's important that you're comfortable with these machines, or you have a backup machine that can get you through while you figure out the problem with the main machine. I mentioned earlier, low maintenance machines like the engraving machine, to me, are a no-brainer. Buy them from China. My laser engravers do not need a lot of maintenance. They don't have a lot of moving parts. They don't have a lot of consumables. You just set them up and you go, and basically, it's just a matter of settings and getting it to work right. But my laser engraving machines have worked fine. They don't need a whole lot. They just fire and go. Where my UV printers are tricky and they need constant maintenance. Not maintenance in a sense where they're always in trouble, but maintenance in a sense where, like your car, they always need oil changes. So these machines, these UV printers always need, and when I say always, daily, some form of maintenance to keep them in good shape. Sometimes a new machine is just way out of whack, just costs too much money. It's not even in the cards. That's why we turn to a Chinese machine. Consider paying a little bit more for a refurbished or used big name machine in order to have that on-site maintenance. I'm still an advocate for going to a show, especially if it's in the area of your shop where you're doing business like I did, in order to buy a machine right off the floor. If you find a machine that's perfect, that seems to work for you, strongly consider getting that machine and making them an offer and doing it early in the show. I've made offers or tried to buy machines thinking, oh, I'll get it in the last day of the show before they go out. What happens is a guy like me went in there the first day of the show and made an agreement the first day of the show. So you'll see sometimes you go into a show, there's a sold sticker on the machine, you're watching them show you how it works, and there's a sold, I'm like, how is it already sold? It's day 2 of the show, you got 3 more days to go. Somebody went in and just made a deal with them. So if you're going to do that, I would say ask future-oriented, get in there early and ask future-oriented questions about what's needed to keep this machine running, what kind of maintenance is needed, what are the common issues for this machine, how much are the parts and where do I get them? Are there U.S. places that can work on this machine, or is it just you guys? I asked, who makes this machine? Where did you build it? This says Rico parts, so that means, okay, I can buy from Rico or Rico people here. but I found that I can't get Rico people to come work on the machine, but I can buy the parts. So that was important for me to know, what can I expect owning this machine, and who do I turn to for parts? How much do they cost? What are the common problems with it? So that's important for me. Another thing I want to know about, or suggestions I have, what kind of support do you offer? If I run into problems with this machine, are you going to help me? A lot of times these companies will have YouTube channels, will have a series of videos on their site dealing with the common problems with their machine or common questions. If you don't have that, if they don't offer that, I'd probably steer away from it. If it's a kind of a complicated machine or a high-tech machine, I wouldn't chance it. Another thing you can ask is, does anyone else in this area own this machine? If so, can I reach out to them? Do you have the information? And then if you have somebody that owns the same machine and you're not concerned about them being a competitor, because these machines can make a lot of different things. So I make machines that help me decorate coins and chips, but it's somebody else could use it for a totally different thing, and there's no overlapping, there's no worry about competition, and you can help each other. That's important for me. Another thing to consider, one of my suggestions is, can I grow into this machine? Meaning, I don't want to get a machine and immediately have to replace it. Like, I have a tabletop machine. I had another tabletop machine by Roland that lasted me for years, but eventually I felt I needed a little bit more. That's why I got the flatbed machine. Don't buy, in my opinion, too little of a machine. I'd rather buy a little bit bigger so I can grow into it, because these machines are priced much lower, these Chinese machines. So it enables you to buy probably a stronger performing machine, a machine that can maybe bang out more than you need at the moment, but all businesses are all about trying to grow them, so don't fall in love right away. Love is blind. Don't fall in love right away, because you may get this machine back to your place and go, oh my God. Because once it's out of the box and just sitting there and powered up, you may look at the software and go, how do I deal with this? How do I work this machine? You don't want to rely on their help for simply powering up and doing the day in, day out stuff of the machine. It's important to have some working knowledge of this machine or machines like it, I think, before you make the purchase and bring it back to your shop. Last thing I have on my list is what to do if you've got the machine from China, you haven't really mastered it, and you find yourself not using it anymore. You feel like it's a waste of money. I overcommitted, everything seems perfect, but then as time goes on, you realize it wasn't what you thought. If you reach that spot, you feel like you'd no longer be able to recover or get the machine working as you liked, and you've moved on from it mentally, but it's taking up physical space in your shop, my suggestion is take the tarp off it, clean it up, take some pictures, and sell it at a loss. Take the hit. Don't let it sit in your shop. It can be depressing. It's taking up space. It's also taking up money. It's important for me not to get hung up on what I spent on the machine and feeling like, oh, I gotta get it back or I can't sell it. That'll keep the machine in your place, in your shop, maybe for years. And eventually, the machine literally has no value, because maybe it's been replaced by other machines, or maybe because it's been sitting here so long, uncovered, unprotected, it no longer can function or work. So be willing to take that hit, sell it at a loss, give it to the next guy who can use it, and get at least some money out of it, so you could take that money and put it into something else, maybe buy another machine or buy some product that you can monetize. Otherwise, it's just dead money sitting there. It can be depressing, and it can make you feel bad about your business. Okay, we made a bad decision. It didn't work out. Let's make the best of it. Put it together, put it online, put it on eBay, sell it locally, and the problem's gone. And at least I had the cash. I turned around, and I'll do something with that cash. And I feel like I solved the problem. And now I have space in my shop to put something else here. And I have the knowledge now, knowing how to make a better purchase of machinery, whether it be a Chinese machine, a US machine, a EU machine. I know better now. I know more now. And I can defend myself. And when I go to a show now, I have a lot more working knowledge and experience behind me, that my mistakes aren't going to be as grand, and they're not going to be as jarring, because these things can take a psychological toll, and that can spill into other things into your business. Anyway, thanks for putting up with me. That's my input on buying these types of machines. And hopefully you can avoid disasters that I have, or if you've had them, let me know what you got, what your experience was, how you got through it, how you made it better, or how you moved on, or how it made you a better operator or purchaser of machines because of that experience. Have a good rest of your day.